Welcome back to the North American LCS Spring Playoffs. It is time for our final match of the day, Game 3 between Dignitas versus Curse. The spot in the semifinals on the line. I want to talk about some players, as I like to do as we preview this. Let's start with supports. Bunny Fufu, Leona, both games. Game 1, not so great. Game 2, significantly better. If he gets Leona again in Game 3, you have to feel that those engages are very important for Curse. What's your take, Saint, on Bunny's performance so far?
He played a lot better this game, but he still had some really bad plays, like the one where they're defending the turret early in the game, and then also trying to engage on Thresh when they were trying to pick Nidalee around Dragon. So needs to pick his engages a little bit better, but overall he's becoming more comfortable.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Saint said. It's just a matter of him finding his bearings. And if there's, in some miracle world, he gets Thresh, I think it's going to be 100%, but that's probably unlikely.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. Thresh, now that you brought it up, played by Kiwi Kid in the previous game, had some fantastic hooks in the latter stages of the game. Ended up going 2-8-13. I think his hooks were great, but they may have been a little too late. What do you think, chat?
Yeah, I mean, across the series, that's a score. 0-5-8 on Thresh. The score doesn't do him justice. He was making a ton of plays for these guys. He almost won the game when he found the hook onto Cop. And it was only Quas and Voidboy that miraculously pulled that fight back. Kiwi Kid is playing some of the best support I've actually ever seen him play in this series.
Let's go. He's going to need to draw from some of that ability going into Game 3. Talking about Game 3, we are just moments away from kicking it off. Something that I want to discuss is picks and bans. I know, Saint, you were highlighting how picks and bans for Curse is going to be very important as we were wrapping up Game 2. Ryze has been banned up both times. And on the red side, Curse banned Soraka Game 1, Dignitas banned Soraka Game 2. We've seen Soraka being played by CLG. Is she that powerful? Is it a new red side ban, Jet?
I think it's trending that way, especially with the way these two teams like to play. They just like to bash into each other and fight. And if you do that against Soraka, the Star Call will win, and it would win you the game. I think Curse is up against a wall here because they have to ban Soraka. I think they should ban Nidalee. And then you also want to control Jax. And you're giving them a chance of first picking Jax. That might end up being their 3 bans. Otherwise, they're giving up something they want.
Well, the other option they can do is they can just leave all the OPs up. And they're like, all right, well, let's see who plays it better. And if you're on purple side and you leave more than one OP up and the other person picks it, you can just have access to even more champions since you can pick 2 champions on the second rotation.
Do you consider that maybe the strategy Dig tried last game? They left Jax up. That they first picked Kha'Zix from Curse. And it was a Thresh and a Nidalee lock-in for Dignitas. You have to feel that Scar's maybe rustiness and some of the other champions could be a factor in that. What is Dignitas' priorities for Game 3 picks and bans? Nidalee first pick again? Yeah. If you consider how important Jax has been?
I think it depends on what's up. I think if Jax is up, you're going to definitely see that first pick. If Soraka's up, that's definitely going to be first pick. I think actually Dignitas made a mistake by first picking Nidalee because A, it shows how much they prioritize that champion. So they really showed their hand with that. And B, yeah, you can be counterpicked. Like you can have these hard, brawling, engaged team comps, and it just hurt them.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Wild West right now, as far as picks and bans are going on this 4.5 patch. There's too many things that these teams want to ban, but at least with these guys, where they do seem to play all the things they're banning, maybe it's a chance to just, we don't see it that often, ban Urgot, ban the things that no one's going to pick in this game. Ban Varus, ban Ezreal, because they're not priority picks for these two teams. And just let the cards fall. That could be an interesting strategy to mix things up.
I'll go big or go home. We are about to find out what these teams decide to do, so let's send it back over to Freak and Kobe for all the action.
Thank you very much, Quickshot.
I do want to say, you don't have to like ban Urgot and ban Varus and stuff. You can target ban one specific person on the team. Then you don't throw away your bans.
Right.
You're like, haha.
There's select bans. There's Annie away from Kiwi Kid. Right? There's like Yasuo away from Voidboy. There's like Mundo away from Quas. Like these aren't like the best champions, but they're one-sided bans. It's like, look, we'll both contest Jax, but you don't get your second pick. Like that's the way you do it.
Are you excited?
I am. I'm sorry. I'm
excited.
I love picking ban faces. They're an interesting puzzle. It's also a great freaking game. Loser of this game plays Coast.
I do think they're right. Jax probably moved up a tier for Dignitas because they first picked Nid twice and didn't work out.
Yeah, it's incredibly important, right? And so we are in a picks and bans. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. And I do want to see what these guys have decided. You know, you get a 5-10 minute break between games to say, okay, let's wrap our head around it. These are things that are important to us. Cruisers Lee Sin every single time. Okay, I understand that. One-sided ban for the most part. LeBlanc away from Void. Okay, again, that's fine. Bunny Fufu's Thresh, right? Still generally one-sided bans. Like, yes, Kiwi Kid plays it. Yes, he's good at it, but like, it's a targeted ban more than it's like the, well, it's Soraka, of course you have to.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. All right, so the Cossacks actually this time here going to be banned as well.
It's Curse first picked it, and I think they banned it both the other games. So last ban is Soraka. That's going to be the Jax. Yeah, of course.
And there it is. Dignitas have realigned their priorities here. Jax taking the place of Nidalee. He's moved up a notch in the power, and they've decided to lock that one in. I mean, nobody's going to argue against that right now.
Yeah, but I want to
current state of the game. I mean, Korea, same thing.
Absolutely.
Highly valued. Europe. Highly valued.
Yep.
All across the world.
What I want to see is Curse to go for a 2v2 and play Renekton. Because we've had 2-on-1s every single game, right? Jax just gets to freeze lane at some point, TP to the farm, and reach late game. Like, nothing threatens
I
it.
do feel like that is risky. Like, how can you guarantee that you're going to get the matchup with Jax versus Renekton? If Jax has an early lead, if Jax goes to a lane you don't expect him to go, and Renekton has to follow him there, getting a half a wave short or a wave later, then Jax actually can win that lane matchup.
But you can summon a TP to the turret right off the bat. Like, you'll see him and you'll miss at most a minion.
All right, that's true.
That's my take on it, right?
True.
You're gonna run teleport anyway. Like, you don't seek a matchup and then go ignite. Like, that's like the worst idea ever, because if you fail, you're screwed.
It's just risky. I mean,
sure.
And then you always still have to worry about the end game. I mean,
of course. But you figure, look, you know, right? I'm talking about Curse right here. Like, Cop and Bunny Fufu, incredibly strong lane. Like, they should be able to, like, you should, if you're gonna try to win a game, you should be confident in the fact that you can win a heads-up matchup. If you're dodging that, it just sets you farther back. Dignitas, they're gonna get 2 cover picks for themselves. They're gonna get the Nidalee mid anyway with the Soraka ban. They're gonna get Annie for Kiwi Kid here, which is a great choice, of course, on him. And so Dig has a lot of things they want.
The thing, if they went with a Renekton now, then they'd have a Renekton and a Xin Sao, and if they do not capitalize on the early moves, then they would have a very rough time. Fiora into Jax is not usually a good idea. Anytime a regular ability counters your ultimate, it's not a good matchup. Jax can just pop his Counter-Strike. Yeah.
Chris gonna look for the engage again. Makes a lot of sense running Leona here. Lucian, of course, was such a high priority pick. I'm surprised that Lucian's been so important for both these teams. Curse have like first rotationed it on red side, I think both times here. Really wanted that champion.
This time around, I thought that Curse was gonna bring the momentum to this game and carry it through actually, but I like this early picks and bans here for Dignitas. They're going back to what worked in game 1.
They have almost entirely the level, their game 1 comp, except that now Cutie Pie didn't get Lucian, he's now got Graves here. So Dignitas in a comfortable strat where they won game 1 convincingly.
Yeah.
Curse, they've got some mix of engage. I mean, they might go back to Yasuo.
Ooh, interesting wrinkle here. They don't have to fully rely on Leona if they can get this TF.
Okay.
However, Jax late game split pushing versus TF's late game split pushing, Jax will crush your face.
That's true. The thing is, Bunny is like laughing as he clicked a Kali. I want it to be the case, but it's it's Curse gonna play basically the mix of game 1 and 2. Gonna say, okay, yep, Xin Zhao jungle, but instead of Yasuo, you're right, the engage wasn't very good. Run the default Lulu. Voy has been good on Lulu this year.
Huh.
The damage is low on this
I'm
team.
going to say, if they get the engage, how are they going to burst down somebody?
How do they kill Jax?
They got to work with the early game here. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dignitas have a little bit of an edge here if they are able to play the beginning of the game out as they want.
I wonder what Mundo's going to do in this one. I do like Mundo coming back in with Summoner Heal. You can remove Ignite, makes your ult more powerful. I understand Mundo. I'm just curious about Mundo into Jax, because I feel like you get out late gamed and out laned.
You're only going to bring 1 Ignite here, max.
True.
If Kiwi Kid decides to bring Ignite even. So the removing Ignite thing, I don't even think is that big of a deal anymore. And I think it's important that this is a comfort pick for Quas.
Yeah.
At least he's confident on this champion.
It's true. They talked about that in the video.
But man, we're going to have to watch how the early movements around the map go, because I think a lot of it will rely on the early shoving here.
Yeah, well, we'll see in the first few minutes, guys. The teams are loading onto the Rift, so head over to Twitter and let us know who you think's going to win.
Yes. Tweet us at LOL Esports, as usual, and use that hashtag DigWin or CurseWin, depending on who you think will take this series.
All right. Well, it's the climactic game 3 here. It's the important match. So what it all comes down to here, CLG convincing 2-0, 63 minutes total game time. Here we are into this matchup, roughly 30-minute games both times around. Game 3 up in front of us right now. Dignitas running the same strategy every single game. Curse running pretty similar as well.
I mean, if they only had a couple days to practice with Skara, they could focus just on one strategy.
Yeah.
That's probably what they've spent most of their time on. So Dig actually pretty happy probably with picks bans for the whole series so far.
Yeah.
Since Skara's had such little time back, not
I
having to change much.
Yeah. And I think about Curse here, and I'm like, you guys had better be incredibly confident that you figured out how to beat Dignitas, because Dig got basically the same comp.
Yes.
They got the exact team comp from game 1 with the switch of Graves. So
who brings that wave clear that they need when they run Nidalee. So I think that's even like a really good, they didn't lose out anything switching those AD carries. He also has amazing burst with Annie. I mean, basically it's the same sniper idea. If Nidalee lands a spear, then there's so many things they can follow up on to execute whoever just got speared. It's not only going to take someone down to half-life, it takes someone down to the critical danger zone where you can lose a person and then lose an objective right after.
Absolutely.
There's flash tippers that start things out. I mean, there's so many things you have to worry about here.
Well, we'll see what it is. Curse, though, because those champs got through, because none of them were really stolen away. Xin Zhao, not, to my knowledge, that contested of a pick, right? Lucian, okay, yeah, but it's an AD carry. They seem interchangeable. Curse, to me, this says they knew Dig was calling with this, and they have the plan ready. What
if Dominate does not go Pharaoh Flare and he tries to make a lot of moves early with Xin Zhao? I mean, Xin Zhao is going to have a good amount of damage. But we'll have to see.
Well, back to the 2-on-1s we go. Once again, third game in a row, Curse, or I should say Red side, initiating the 2-on-1 swap. This time around, Quas and Dominate actually jungle together.
Yeah.
So they will get to the turret much faster. Dignitas might not get that free turret lead.
Yeah, 2 games in a row. Dig have done the same early level plan. This time, Curse are actually adapting to it and using the same strategy here. However, this time around, they are on the red side, so they're going against the turret that has extra reduction in damage, and they'll probably still, you know, have a little bit of tough time.
Yeah, at least Jax just seems like such a good duo to take down turrets quickly. Jax, bunch of attack speed from his passive. Elise got Spiderlings in her W.
Yeah, Spiderlings and W is amazing. So Elise is very strong, taking down early turrets. Xin Zhao, though, similar thing.
True.
His Q and his W are both amazing at taking down turrets very early.
And Quas learned Masochism at level 2, so he's got that bonus attack damage. Lower he is, the higher it goes. Took some damage jungling. It's actually pretty high damage Mundo. And Curse are not far behind on this one.
All right, so they've made a good adaptation. Not going to start out behind this time around. Let's see what happens at the second turrets, though, because it looks like they're just going to go full steam ahead, shove in on second turrets. Then we get to the interesting choice that faces all these teams. Do you commit a bunch of your HP bar to actually go for an early dragon that doesn't reward you with that much gold, thereby losing out on some map pressure? Or do they force recalls here? You know, keep on shoving, make the Dignitas team return to you, and focus towards mid lane. Mid lane right now, very weak for Dig. They have Nidalee early. You can actually punish that champion pretty hard in the early game. Lulu can shove in. She can clear waves really easily. Nidalee pre-6 does not have that option.
And you're seeing a 50% minion lead for Volbo right now. Yeah, it's only 7, but he's consistently pushed down to the turret. Denied, gold this way. It's a 200 gold lead for Curse as a result of their minion game. See how this one pans out right there. Of course, the turret's going down. Equal situation as far as the map control goes, though. And Crumbs, I like the choice. He early recalled to make sure he could get control over his jungle again, and he's now got a red buff, and he's ready to gank.
Dominate as well, getting his red buff. And continuing with the normal jungle route. I think it will be regular then. He's going Feral Flares, nothing wacky. He's not going for some weird bursty early damage or something.
Yeah. Normal stuff in this one. Boy. Skara still trading 8 minions right now. Boy gonna miss a couple. Gets those right there. So here we go.
The interesting wrinkle this time around, Dignitas have the minion wave very deep there with Jax, just trying to nurture it and prune it. Whereas Curse actually shoved it pretty quickly so that they could move up for that early dragon, as we talked about.
Interesting. All right, so the wards are going down rather quickly. Cruiser looks like he's not yet going to cash in with the teleport. Volby takes a poke low on mana, but there it goes. Picked up now for Dominate. Kiwi Kid up in the mix there, flashing away. Bunny Fufu is low. Cruiser re-engages with the stun. Quas forced to run. He will drop to Crumbs for first blood. The answer onto Kiwi Kid. Bunny Fufu has to flash. He will survive. Dominate also. Cutie Pie. One hit, can't get it. Skara trying to help him out with a summoner heal. I will dominate though, takes a javelin and down he goes. And now Boy is caught out on the wrong side of this fight. So is Kopp. 4 kills picked up for Dignitas.
I think that could have almost even been an ace if Cutie Pie had kept going. He got a little bit scared of the red buff Xin Sao and did not continue to try and chase Bunny. But Dignitas, they make the choice. All right, you can have that dragon. It's going to get you low enough. We will kill everyone. Teleport in with the Jax who was freezing his lane, and Cruiser comes up with the flash, leap strike, giant stun. 4 members locked up, and it's easy for Elise. At this point in the game, she's such a strong jungler. Once she gets every single ability, they're able to chase down. He has gap closers, he has CC, and Cruiser is going to be very happy to clean up some extra money here. Cutie Pie taking the ones down up top.
And there's no chance for Cobb to take that kill back. So, 4-1, 1,000 gold right in there, Dignitas. Looking so far great in this game.
That's what I say. The early dragons are very risky. They cost you so much of your health to go after. It gives you a very weak sort of 5 to 10 minutes game. And Dignitas capitalized on it with their giant minion wave that Cruiser started before the teleport. They actually get back there in time to meet it at the turret. Teleport comes in though. Curse wants to stop it and clean it all up. Oh, the juicy Lulu Glitter Lance.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Can we get a slow motion replay that one zoomed in? Challenger series, maybe? All right. Dignitas Cutie Pie, though, is going to hold the mid lane solo while his Team 4 pushing the top lane. To be more minions going this way. Of course, the teleport was forced away. That was something that Saint talked about is, yeah, you know, make a play to force the teleport out and get that on cooldown so that you guys can do something else. Cutie Pie aggro's the blue buff. He knows about it.
And CS is heavily in favor of Curse now. But they lost so much with that 4-man kill at the Dragon. It'll be interesting to see how they pose the next couple of steps here. Already an early ward onto that blue buff. Could be dangerous because Dig already claimed theirs. They've secured it.
It's true. And yeah, the ward went down, but Cutie Pie could have gone for it. Like, no one checked for a good long time, but they're make the way over.
Well, they're waiting for Crumbs to come back over because he was hoping to get their own blue buff. Too slow, though.
Little Lance takes it. Nice javelin, though. Tags Dominate. Nice shot right there, Skara. Minions go down. Dominate's out of mana. Is going for the Wriggles. No surprise in this one. Early Sork shoes, though, for Crumbs.
It would have been crazy.
Yeah.
To go for some bursty stuff, but not to happen here. So that means that at this point, Elise going to have way more influence on any sort of team fights that break out. Early penetration here. Crumbs is going for high impact right now.
We'll see what these guys can do with this one. Top lane once again pushed in. Skara is level 6, so is Voyboy. They're both wearing blue buffs, going towards Athenes as well. This time, no Morella Namicon here. It's going to be the standard stuff for Voy. He took one too many javelins last game and said, you know what? MR is a good stat against Nidalee. I'm going to buy some.
Yeah, decent against Elise and Jax as well. All around pretty good buy there. Scar trying to get those Fog of War spears. Hard to push on that blue buff Lulu. That's why that secondary blue buff spawn was so important.
There's a big minion wave in the bottom lane pushing toward Dignitas' outer turret.
Braves.
Yeah, Cutie Pie is going towards it. Curse aren't capitalizing on it, though. Like, it's building up, but they're not showing any signs of rotating. They are pressuring mid, though, which will make it a 4 versus 3 in this lane. If they can make something happen. There's no wave through without Graves.
It's hard for them to actually push onto the turret, though. As we said there, the spear, they're actually buying enough time even for Crumbs to jungle. So this is pretty big that he's even able to get this. Mundo walking all the way down. Cruiser's got to make a choice. Join the team or try and shove this lane.
Oof, Cobb takes a javelin, but the turret is going to get pushed on all 5 show. Cruiser, no teleport. Wow, Curse back off in a 5v3. They backed off, didn't stay for the turret.
All right, again, Dignitas, side lane shove. They're doing both of them while Curse try and make something happen mid, but it's too early for them to go for any kind of tower dives. So Dignitas slowly getting a little bit more control of the map. And then once they have 2 lanes shoved up, they get the choice of if they want to pressure top or bottom.
And we'll see. Cruiser gonna take his time up in the top lane. Cutie Pie's already shoved out the bottom lane. He's gonna recall back. Should be a blood. Nope. Can't quite afford the Bloodthirster, so just boots the speed.
Man,
The Dignitas AD carry.
those are some deep pink wards that Dignitas have been able to get to. We talked about how important vision is in the early game because all these turrets are down early and because everyone is swinging back and forth from top lane to bottom lane to mid lane, trying to keep track of these minion waves. Vision inside your enemy's jungle is paramount. And again, it's Dig who have the advantage. However, they've used pink wards for that bottom side, which do show and should be able to be cleared out by Team Curse because it's hard for Dig to contest those. They can defend the ones that are on their territory, but it's hard defending the ones so deep.
So Dignitas should have seen Curse walk into that brush with that northern pink ward. Dominate, not going to realize. Okay, there we go.
Dragon's up, and they're actually going to pressure mid-turret here.
Okay, Dignitas, they don't want to play the Dragon Siege game. They just want to play the mid lane Siege game. Mundo, Quas going to have to make his way back down across the map. Cutie Pie putting some good damage down. Glitterlance hits onto 2. No one's really there. It's going to be the turret picked up. Dignitas,
Yeah.
they're actually staying for these turrets. Curse, I feel like they keep backing off when it's low.
Great zoning there from Dignitas to zone Curse out of their own mid-turret and get a uncontested objective right there. Mundo coming down a little bit late, and they try and do the exact same thing. Dignitas faint over towards Dragon, and Curse make them pay for it with the exact same move.
All right, so equalized here. 500 gold apart. Dignitas are up 3 kills to the Dragon of Curse, and it's basically a tied game on this one. Dominate looking to make his way down across the map.
Yeah, you got to be real careful about pinning yourself inside the Dragon at this point. Neither team wants to start it up. This is going to be a mid lane shove, game of chicken versus the bottom lane shove. Can Dignitas actually keep Curse over here? Because the AD carry here, Cop, he's shoving up that mid lane. They're going to lose minions to the mid if they don't make a decisive move. Are we going to start the Dragon? Or are we going to shove bottom?
Yeah, Digger's still stuck
Starting
there.
the Dragon, that's the call.
Right, there we go, down to half HP. Quas still trying to poke a little bit. Scar's going to hurt a bit more. Down to half HP. Dominate shows up for it. This is going to be the fight to watch. The engage going to be flashed away from Dignitas, though, on the run, trying to escape. Cutie Pie dashing away even more, but gets knocked up. Down he goes. Quas finds one. Cruiser now joins the fight. A lot of damage comes through, though. Cop is just firing from the back lines. It's 3 kills picked up for Curse, and Dominate actually lived through the whole thing. The slow onto Kiwi Kid. Gigantic fight for Curse. Kiwi should be going down.
I have no idea why Dignitas start this Dragon. They're the ones going for late game. They're the ones with the Jax and Nidalee. They're pinning themselves inside the Dragon pit. And they get cut off here. It's a good move from Curse. This is a great call for Curse. They're very happy with the way this will start out. Dragon will start attacking Curse as they try and follow this up, but it's not nearly as much damage as Dig already took from it. Cutie Pie getting stunned up there was unfortunate for them. Great Leona ultimates, by the way, from Bunny Fufu. Can't even see Jax's HP, but Cop came in right behind him. And this is not the fed Jax. This is early game Jax.
Yeah. You know, I questioned what Mundo was going to bring. He brings mid-game teamfight power. He's unkillable 12 minutes into the game. Get a Sunfire Cape, he's going to put the damage through.
I think it's mostly just having an extra heal on your team. They've got 3 heals there for the team fight, compared to only 2 for Dignitas. And you're right, you know, Mundo was unkillable, but early Sunfire rush by him. Ooh, they want to make it happen again.
Dignitas get top outer. They're up a turret again, but they're down about 1,700 gold. Curse making a great mid-game attempt here. Quas going to get forced back. Solar Flare going to land a little bit of slow on the crumbs, hit with a briefcase as well.
Level 6 Kiwi Kid is what everybody's scared of right now. They're a little wary. There's no flash on Kiwi Kid, but he does have Tivers available, so that could easily turn a team fight. Last time Bunny Fufu got the initiate, great stun. Could easily be Kiwi Kid making that play. A lot of these mid-game team fights are in the hands of the supports.
See if they can find the next engage then. Solar Flare, we've got a while to go till that comes back up. But the Javelin Siege is here. They know there's no engage. So unless Dominate gets a really great push in, but Voyboy, he's getting harassed down. Kulin comes across. The flank comes in from Dr. Mundo. Does not land the first slow, but Crumbs doesn't have much of a place to go. He's going to rappel up to the air, but he will go down. 1-0 so far. Curse going to run them down. Quas with the briefcase on the run. Cutie Pie also going to fall. The engage from Curse is good even without Leona. Stun on a Quas also not going to matter. Kiwi Kid will soon fall. Triple kill for Voyboy. Curse find the fight.
Yeah, the early game being very telling. That's what I put a lot of emphasis on from the champ select, and Curse are making amazing moves here. First time Dig actually get themselves trapped, but this time it was a great teleport in, a flanking maneuver there from Quas, able to get right in the mix, and they're having no problem finding those hard engages that they want.
Yeah, I am so impressed with that. That ward down there was an MVP. Quas gets to start this fight without Solar Flare.
Yeah, this is pretty much popping the ulti as soon as he gets in here for the move speed. And Voyboy backing him up here. Lulu also very strong towards this middle of the game. Knockups, slows also, so there's no way anyone's going to get away from him.
The whimsy, wild growth Mundo. You do not get away from that champion with a poke comp.
Correct.
Oh, like Jack's the only guy who can kill that man.
I mean, what's the disengage this time? Because they went with the Annie instead of Thresh, they don't have that box to rely on. They're just kind of throwing out these skill shots behind them as they try and run away, trying to throw out cocoons and spears.
And it worked. I mean, Mundo's got tenacity. Yeah. He didn't go Merc Treads, to be fair, but with the W, he's going to have some. Lulu keeps speeding him up. Like, you just get to run people down if you're Curse's team comp.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, we got our first pick, Jax. We do not fight when it's late game, though. They're not letting it get to that power curve.
Yeah, Dignitas are forcing it early. And it's interesting to see, actually, these 15-minute in fights. The map is different than it would be if it was a 2-on-2 lane, because there's so many dead turrets, Curse gets to run them down. Normally there's an outer turret there that says, okay, you got to stop again. You know, top lane turret hasn't died yet normally. And this open field, the 2-on-1s, actually plays into the way that Curse would win a team fight. Mundo runs in, Whimsy makes it happen. It's very interesting, like all the little things that actually kind of came together to make this game work for Curse so far. But you're right, the late game Jack is something that we have to wait for. The Dignitas also needs to wait for.
Let's see if Curse can actually capitalize, because after those team fights, they were able to get some wards down in the blue side. If you deny Nidalee blue buff, it takes away a lot of that threat. You know, even in the mid game, even after the themes and working towards death cap, if they can control blue buff area, that would be huge for them.
See what these guys can get.
Wards timing out, though.
Well, 3,000. The gold lead for Curse. 113 until Dragon respawns. Outer turret is available on the bottom side of the map if they want that one.
Dominate 23 stacks on the Pharaoh Flare, so it's almost turned into...
Good stun from Kiwi Kid.
A Pharaoh Flare. Kiwi Kid is able to protect Cutie Pie, running his screen here. But yeah, Dominate 18 minutes. Because of all the action, that's not that bad.
Couple of wards come down. Dignitas, they want to contest this dragon. They're investing a fair bit of money warding it out. A couple of pink wards come down from the team. They control a couple of the brushes. They can see most of the engaged paths.
Sweeper's already being changed out here too for Dignitas. Going with 3, trying to clear out that vision because they're very worried about the picks from Curse. This is where Curse is going to shine.
This is nice from Dig, though.
They've got the flash. They've got the Leona ultimate ready.
They force the rotation to the mid lane. I don't think they're going to rush down Dragon. I feel like that's a big risk, but maybe they do.
They would have nightmares about last time. I feel like that would be a misstep from Dig. And I don't think they'll make the same one twice.
Javelin comes out. Bunny Fufu has the shield. Whimsy is coming on. There comes the engage. I will dominate. Knocks back Crumbs, and here is the battle. Moon to the front line. 2-man Solar Flare. Cruiser's going to be going down almost for sure. So far, 1. Now it's 2 kills. Curse in the lead. The dive on a Cutie Pie. Glitterlance not going to mean much, but he takes it anyway. Bunny Fufu eats a Javelin just for fun. Double kill for I Will Dominate. Curse again win the fight.
Yeah, making it look... Ooh!
And the flash in, Cop secures the 4th kill of the battle. Dragon also surely to go Curse's way. 12-4, convincing in the fight.
I mean, Curse is making this look real easy. If the engages, almost be able to get that with a spear. Dominate though. He can smite away Dragon. As long as Crumbs isn't around, he won't be outsmited. Dominate, great engage here. Crumbsing Sao, by the way. And then another Solar Flare. Man, Buddy Fufu really crucial to this team. As I said, there's a lot riding on supports when you run these two types of teams. And they've been able to get the engages that they want. I mean, they're making it look so easy here. They have flashes available. I feel like the thing that Dig are not respecting is the flash distance.
Yeah.
Dominate was able to get his flash engage there for the slow, queuing up a nice Solar Flare there.
Yeah.
But again, Dig are kind of putting themselves in these positions, so...
Good thing he didn't run heal.
Yeah.
Flash engages. Quite successful for him.
We were being a little facetious with that. Everybody just run heal exhaust.
Still want to see it.
But I still do want to see it.
If Dig exhausted all 5, would they just win the fight, though? Engage all you want. Gonna exhaust you. Well, Skara now on the back foot. 0-0-3, 123 minions.
And again, Dig return to the 1-3-1. Double split pushing here.
Yeah, now I think they really do. I mean, you kept calling it, but I want to reinforce the point a bit more. Dignitas need to calm down with the objectives and just let Cruiser get some farm. Because they have tried Siege after Dragon attempt, after Siege, after Dragon attempt. Each one turned around by a curse. Make them force the engage under Dignitas' turrets. That should be the MO. Just wait for Graves, wait for Nidalee, wait for Jax to scale up.
Yeah,
make Curse dive.
And we talked about, where's Curse damage going to come from? It's going to come from gold, just straight items, because that was a lot of money that was given over to them very early in the game. When you get that kind of gold lead, the power difference is fairly substantial here, and they're going to continue. They just need to force things, get some vision down in the jungle, pick people off.
See what they can find. 6 stacks on Pharaoh Flare, by the way, for I Will Dominate. So he's going to start scaling those up in team fights as well. His AoE working nicely to get extra ones.
Yeah. So
the Siege.
If you had something like Thresh or like Trundle, which Dig had used at different points as well, then they would have that disengage, and they would have options of running. But they don't have either of those, and they also don't have a Talisman. The Talisman is very expensive, not quite completed yet. Not even working towards it yet. He still has the Spell Thieves. I expect him to probably sell that to try and get some speed for the team, because they're having a very hard time. They have no mobility.
He does need it. You're absolutely right about that. I don't think Twin Shadows would be enough. You'd stop 2 of the engagers, but I think that's insufficient. Like, I don't think this is true because of Flash Xin Zhao and like Flash Leona, but like, you almost get enough out of the slows from like Twin Shadows or Frost Queen's Claim. But yeah, getting your entire team out of range, I think, is more important. I don't think you can just go for those upgrade paths. But Kiwi Kid, he's going for damage. He just got to grab the needlessly large rod on this one. He's saying, you know what? The way we're going to win this is bursting people out when they do go in. Removing I Will Dominate. But Dominate's already starting to go tanky.
Yeah. I mean, on Xin Zhao, you really... Getting control of the Baron is pretty big here for Curse, because the Pharaoh Flare is completed. There's one ward they didn't see, though.
Now they do.
Aha! On Xin Zhao, he does a lot of damage just with Pharaoh Flare, but he's also added into that a Hex Drinker. Great flanking teleport in. Can he cut anyone off, though?
Looks like no, but that does give
advantage Jax then.
Yeah, huge room for Cruiser. 5-minute teleport cooldown. Dominant takes damage. This forces Curse to react, go back to their base and defend. Dignitas just bought time.
They still don't want to fight. So really, it's just trying to pull attention away from the Baron area where fights can be forced. And buy enough time for the Jackson mid to scale up.
And even the Ana to scale up. Like, if Kiwi Kid goes, I would guess, I almost want to say it's Deathfire Grasp more than Death Cap. Like, I don't think Zonius is worth it for Kiwi Kid. But yeah, if you went DFG, it would help Scar, it would help Crumbs, help Cruiser a little bit. Until you get Void Staff, I don't think you can really justify getting a Death Cap on a support. So, that's my expected build.
It's going to be hard for Kiwi Kid to get positioning on Cop. Like, if he got a Deathfire Grasp, he would be able to 100% to 0 an 80 carry. However, how is he going to get his squishy little Annie self past Xin Sao, past Mundo, past Leona, that are all backed up by this Lulu? He's going to have to get some sort of flank, some kind of crazy speed boost, or he's just going to YOLO flash in and sacrifice his life.
Well, Kiwi Kid does have distortion enchantment. It'll give him some movement speed after the flash, so
I think he's probably going to die after
maybe
the
he's
flash.
going to YOLO it.
He's pretty squishy.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, though. The drawback of putting a lot of your faith in the support Annie engage is that if support Annie takes any damage before a fight, she's very easy to kill immediately. If they're able to pick her off or something, or shoot her before it starts, then that's your whole engage gone.
But Dignitas has successfully gotten control of the map at least a little bit. They've swept away most of the wards in the Baron pit. Curse have none. A little bit of money picked up for Dig, and Cruiser has spent that time split pushing 167 CS. He's most of the way to Trinity Force here. Cop actually playing very defensive on his wave clear because there's no wards to see if he's safe from rotations. Dignitas got map control back.
They do have great vision of the Baron area. And they have Crumbs, who basically has controlled all Barons.
True.
In the matchup. He's been ridiculous with his smites.
Dominate. Qua's going to do with the Scar, reveals with a trap. That does show what's going on very briefly, but no one's around to get the smite secure. Dominate, nice move. Walks forward to face tank a Javelin just to ensure he gets it.
Yeah. I mean, Curse definitely have a huge advantage right now, and it's not like they fall off quickly. Their tanks scale up really well too. Xin Sao and Mundo are going to be scaling well towards the late game as, on a similar course here. So
yeah, I'm actually curious of something, right? So like, you actually have some pretty good hard CC to stop Jax for a while, yep. Right? You've got Whimsy, you've got an exhaust from Leona, you've got Leona herself, you've got Sinjao to knock someone back, and even though Jax does scale incredibly well and all that, you've got a Mundo who's going to become eventually invincible, and a Sinjao who can scale to infinity here, and is going to be a much bigger damage threat than we expect. Yeah. And because he's not doing all those rotation games, he's getting to farm. He's got 119 CS on a jungler,
so
and will have a lot of damage.
What it is that Jax scales really well for split pushing, for solo fights. Looks like they might have to call him in here, though. Curse have vision control on Baron, and Jax is nowhere near the base. Burning this one down.
Dying extremely fast. Crumbs can get over the wall in time. Looks like it's still getting burned down. There's the repel into the air. Red team picks up Baron Nashor. That is Curse to take that one over. Kiwi Kid forced to run. Nice slow lands. And down goes Annie. Cannot get the engage in. Another kill comes in. Curse, gigantic lead.
I think there were just too many early game mistakes from Dig that gave Curse way too much money. They're so strong right now. You saw how easily they can tank Baron. And I talked about how their tank line scales. So that's all they really need to do. Wait and then force Dig to come into their hands. Looks like a pretty good advantage towards mid now after picking off the initiate.
Voyboy's got enough AP that his shields completely tank Skara Javelins right now. Without any magic pen at all for Skara, Voyboy takes 0 damage as long as he picks the right target to shield with this one. So there's a lot less recourse here for Dignitas. Kiwi Kid actually in the last fight tried to flash engage to save himself, died after flashing, so just lost a cooldown on that kill pickup. There's even less tools now for Dignitas.
Yeah, 4 to 14 is pretty telling as well. We'll have to see. Curse now in control of the bottom side. Will they wait in this jungle though? Bunny Fufu circling around the back side. This could be pretty bad for Dignitas.
Well, pressure is on now to the bottom turret. Bunny Fufu making the rotation. Exactly, keeps him away. Baron buff on 5. Curse happy to keep this pressure going. 10,000 gold lead. Very significant margin for these guys. 4 are there. Quas gonna hold top lane on Mundo. 3, 1, and 9. Very tanky man here. Visage, Randuin, Sunfire. Level 15. He is above Cruiser, and I feel like if we actually win the duel, he'd be tanky enough to not die to the sustained damage and just burn him out with all the fire.
Definitely has a good chance. I mean, Jax has completed the 2 main items, but he's still behind. So much global gold gives Quas the advantage here. on the Mundo. Ridiculously tanky, plus he is running that heal. I think what's really telling is that both AD carries have gone with this mid-game spike in damage. This is as mid-game focused as you can get. Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, and Shiv on both of them.
Yeah.
Like, this is all about the mid-game wave clear, mid-game tower shoving, and the team fight spells that they can bring and burst.
We'll see if they can find any more with this one. PewDiePie, lightning comes out. Shocking pickup for him. I will dominate. I will dominate.
All right, so shall we see the dive? This Mundo you're talking about stacked up a ridiculous amount of armor, and their tank line is extremely beefy here. They've got definitely all-star linebacks on Curse right now. Looking to go for a tower dive here versus Dignitas. All eyes on Kiwi Kid. Can he stun up Cop?
See what they can find. PewDiePie taking a bunch of his health. I will dominate. Goes in. The knockup's coming through. Solar Flare onto Cruiser, and the battle has begun. Kippers comes across. Backline retreating for Dignitas. 1 kill picked up. That's Crumbs going down. Cruiser takes a briefcase, takes a heal. He's still running, but he goes down. Double kill for Cop. This could be the final push for Curse.
All right, 4-16. Looking to end it already through the bottom lane.
Well, Dominate takes turret aggro, though, has to back away, losing a lot of health. Runs away with nothing left. The shutdown actually comes through. That is Sinjao dying with the trade back. PewDiePie falls over. Now 4-2. Second turret going down. Looks like Scar and Kiwi Kid not going to be able to hold it. And in 31.5 minutes, Curse come back for Game 3, and they're into the semifinals.
Congratulations, and look at that Boy ecstatic with the win. They're able to actually defeat Dignitas this time around. They get vengeance for last.
They really do. Wonderful play by these guys. Boy overcoming nerves the entire season. We had games delayed.
The whole team
series
really coming around.
Yeah, especially in Game 1, you saw how pensive they were, and finally showing up to deal some real damage in fights. The Quas flanks, I gotta say, were massive. I think that was the first big turnaround in the mid-game. Just in general, man, those guys made it happen, buffing up the front line. I feel like Quas carried both Game 2 and 3 for this team.
He definitely had a huge impact on both of the games. The Jax factor was undeniable in the second game there. And likewise, Mundo, this time around, as you said, the tank, they're really looking to scale those tank lines here for Curse, and it worked out so well. Yeah. They got 3 hard engages for fights early on in this matchup. That is exactly what Dig did not want.
Yeah, Dig honestly playing for objectives a bit much. Like, some of them were like, okay, you're sieging a turret and like sieging a turret with solar flare down. You're like, all right, we're gonna be good, right? They have to, back away. Javelins will land, eventually get the turret. But the TP flank from Mundo, that was awesome for one of them. But there's 2 that were just like, Dignitas started a dragon. And they didn't land any javelins to earn the dragon. They were just like, we're going to hit it. And we're going to hope that we deal the damage. But as you identified, no disengage tools, no trundle, right? No thresh.
Thresh was a big time.
Yeah, and that's funny because we talked about the important picks in Champ Select. Oh yeah, get rid of Bunny Fufu's Thresh. That was a ban. Oh yeah, first pick Jack. So those disengage tools were removed as options in Champ Select by Curse's own volition, or Dignitas' own volition. They removed the tools they needed. It was interesting. But
too bad for them.
It worked out. Guys, let's check out the playoff bracket after the last quarterfinal showdown. With their 2-1 win, Curse advances, and they're going to face off against Cloud9 on Saturday in our second semifinal series.
Well, Dignitas will face off against Coast to determine who will be sent to the Summer Promotion Tournament.
For more on Curse's day on the Rift, oh, just kidding, hold on. We're going to talk to Curse a little bit later. Just kidding about that one. So the playoff bracket there, right? Tomorrow, both semifinals, and the 5th, 6th place game. Those are important ones. So Curse Cloud9.
CLG versus TSM.
That's a big one too. Curse Cloud9. If Curse actually keep this up, right, and they're making these good moves and Quas plays this kind of a series, that's a big chance here for Curse to make the play.
I think they overcame a really big hump that we saw. Stark differences between Game 1 and Game 3. Nerves definitely looked like they played a big part in that first game.
Yeah.
And maybe now Curse will have confidence from the very beginning of their series moving forward.
Yeah, and then the other matchup, CLG TSM, long-time rivalry. Of course, CLG has won a game now in this series, or in the regular season here in the 2014 spring split. So they've got that chance. I mean, these guys are all fighting for top team NA.
That one's always really exciting. We'll have to see that tomorrow, though.
It's going to be all kinds of exciting. So for more on Curse's day for real this time on the Rift, let's throw it over to Trevor at the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Freak. I do want to welcome Curse's Voyboy as well as I will dominate the analyst desk. Let's start by saying congratulations on the win. It was hard fought. Boy, you looked a little bit emotional at the end there, jumping, getting all hyped. What did the victory here mean to you?
Yeah, this like match meant a lot to me. Like, we did not have the best season. We started off with rocky footing. We really could not find like our wins. We did not look like a team. And another backlash from that was there was a lot of pressure on me too. Like, I would go like constantly my Twitter and Reddit comments and like Facebook, I would just get like, go back to top, like you don't deserve to play in the LCS and stuff like that. And like that was really hard for me to take for a while, but I just tried to block all of that off, like look to improve myself and my team as well, and just like try to make us as good as possible. And I think in the last like month and a half, 2 months, ever since we got Bunny, we've been playing really well, and I'm really confident in the future of our team. And I would be very surprised if we don't like finish top 3 here. So I'm really proud of how far we've come.
Well, it's really great to hear you speak so positively. Congratulations. That was a great series. I do want to talk a little bit about the games. Dominate, expand on me your picks and ban strategy. Game 1, you guys had a pretty clear focus. You were, taking out the Soraka, etc. You didn't panic ban when Nidalee was in your face on the Jax. And it felt like you stuck to your guns in terms of your strategy. Was this a clear, conscious decision, or how did the games go in your minds from that perspective?
Well, we knew ever from game 1 that we could win the fights in the series. So as long as we didn't get outplayed strategically, they didn't get an early push on us or like get a dragon advantage or something like that, we'd be able to win the games. So after the first game, we didn't really take it as, oh, we lost because Jax and Nidalee are just too hard to deal with. We lost because we made a mistake. We should have been able to respond to their split push, and instead we kind of just forced down mid, and we weren't really conscious of how much damage they were going to get on our turrets and inhibitors at that point. So yeah, I just think that we kept our minds about us. We practiced against Jax, so like we know how to play against it. It's not something that we can't play against. So we decided to keep our strategy, play against the Jax, and just try to execute the team fights we had in game 1, keep that same thing into game 3, and then just not make the mistakes that we did with the split push.
It definitely got better as the series went on, and it ended up working 2-1 in favor. How did you settle the nerves of Quas and Bunny Fufu? Because game 1, they didn't look up the standing. Game 1, they didn't look like they were really in it. But by the time we got to the third game in the series, that was one of the best Mundo performances I think we've seen in a while. And, Bunny Fufu really shone as well. So is this something that you took upon yourself, or how did your team get over that?
So when we play as a team, we really like to pump each other up. I think, however, we're all performing overall is just going to affect everyone else. So first game, I don't think any of us were really on point. We weren't like... We were looking for like some okay fights. We like won a skirmish here or there, but then like when the moment came when like the logical decision was to send people back, we just weren't able to do it, and we lost a lot off that and ultimately the game. So I don't think it was Quas or Bunny playing badly. I think we just played badly as a team, and I think games 2 and 3 we came back really hard and just showed everybody that we can win games here. Game
3 got you off to a very shaky start. We have a replay. I think you guys know what it is. It's the first dragon fight. Let's pull this up onto your screens. Oh, now, we are going to show the first one, which didn't go well, and then the next one, which did go well. Dominate, can you talk me through what happened? Let's roll this clip out and explain to me what's happening in comms, etc.
Right. So we go into this fight. We're trying to force something because we mismanaged the waves. They actually have like a freeze going top, and we weren't able to freeze bot. So we're trying to do something to punish the Jax from being so split, and we want to force out his early TP. Just because, generally speaking, a Jax would like to keep that freeze. He doesn't want to TP in early. So we get into the fight. We get Dragon, and we're kind of just calling, like, look for Annie. She's the only one low. And then at this point, we know we need to disengage. I don't think we actually did that good of a job of flashing out in different directions. We kind of, like, all flash after each other. Like, my flash was terrible there. And we just, like, all end up dying. So it was really just a reactionary play to the freeze they had. We were trying to do something against that, and it just didn't work out for us.
How do you mentally come back from a team fight like this in the deciding game of a series? What was the morale like, on your heads?
We were honestly fine with it. Like we knew that we did lose a bunch of kills, but we did get Dragon, so it wasn't like a complete train wreck. And then we also kind of broke their freeze top. Their wave started pushing into us, so we weren't really in like a horrible position. It just kind of like felt bad in the game, but we just all like kept the mentality. It's like, yeah, next fight we're just gonna like destroy them. Like next fight we're gonna just.
Well, the next fight did come a few minutes later. This one, Voyboy, I want you to talk, actually. Let's pull that second replay up on your screen. Also starts with the Dragon Pit, and really these were the two, black and white engages. Let's roll this clip out, and all of a sudden, this is a Curse victory.
Yeah, so there's a long like cowboy desperado standoff here. We had people pushing down mid, and then they didn't start for a long time, and then they finally went for it. And we were pretty confident that we could win this fight. So they are taking Dragon, and we just like we're looking for the engage. We get the Zinzal in, we Lulu ulti him, and then we just train them down, which is really a strong aspect of our comp. And although they are able to get a few of us low, they can't actually secure any of these kills. So we are just able to keep chasing them down, and we don't actually lose anyone. And we actually kill 4. I believe we get the Annie too. And we just took Dragon right after. So that was a really big momentum swing back in our favor, and it was just complete opposite of the first fight.
From that fight on, you never really looked like you were out of control of the game. It was just multiple kill chases after kill chases. So it was very well executed. I do want to ask you guys about some of your rotations and your map control, because Dignitas did give you a lot of headaches. And I would say all 3 of the games. The opening 5 to say 10 minutes, Dig seemed to get more towers and you seem to rotate better. How do you guys work on that going into the series tomorrow against Cloud9?
I actually think that Dignitas did something really good in terms of their early push. They did something that no other teams do, which the standard 2v1 meta is you take 2 buffs, the top laner gets level 2, and then you push as 4. What they did is they only did 1 buff, 1 camp, and then they sent everybody level 2 to the wave. So every single time they'd get the push advantage in front of us, and we weren't able to really punish them for that. So in the 3rd game, we actually adapted, and we just did the same thing they did. We're like, all right, you're doing 2 camps and going to lane, we'll do 2 camps and go to lane. So we kind of just matched them there, and I don't think it will be that much of a struggle going into the next games, because no other teams really do that. And even if it is, we've at least got we've been exposed to it, so now I think that we'll be able to handle it better.
Yeah, a little bit more aware of the options. 0-4 versus Cloud9 on the split. You have given them a run for your monies throughout the course. The games have been competitive. What are you expecting going into your semi-final series?
I think that we're going to take it to 3 games. I mean, we've been practicing really hard. We've been winning games versus TSM, CLG, and like all these other teams, and I feel pretty good. Cloud9 is probably the best team in NA right now, but I think we can definitely come out strong and hopefully with the win.
So as a final question, it's something that I know has been discussed and brought up on Reddit and social media and things like that. We've seen heavy engage styles of compositions and run you down today in the quarterfinals. Dominate, are we going to see a Curse poke composition or some variety tomorrow? Or are you focusing on the one play style?
100% we're running poke first game. First pick Nidalee.
So that's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear.
Hopefully Cloud9 not watching this. So
yeah.
Well, if they are watching, is it a nice mind game here, Void Boy?
No, we're like that's actually what we're doing.
Yeah, if they ban Nidalee, we're screwed.
Well, congratulations again, guys. We're looking forward to the semi-final tomorrow, and of course, you've locked your spot in for the summer split. That wraps us up here on the analyst desk. We're going to throw back across the studio to freaking Kobe.
Thank you very much, Quick Shot. We're going to see what happens with Nidalee there on Champ Select. I predict first ban Cloud9. We're back here tomorrow with more North American Spring playoff action. It's going to be great. Our first semifinal showdown, TSM faces off against Counterlogic Gaming in a best of 3.
And then in our second semifinal matchup, it's the #1 seeded Cloud9 taking on Curse. And we'll conclude the day with another best of 3 battle for 5th place between Dignitas and Team Coast.
That action all gets underway Saturday at noon Pacific time, 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time. These matchups, very important ones, right? So TSM versus CLG, Cloud9 Curse, grand final spots there, right? There's a 3rd place match the day after. That's all fine and good, but you got those 4 teams in the battle to go to France, to go to Paris, go to the All-Star Invitational. That's a big one, but also at the same time, right? End of the day, that 5th, 6th place match, right? Loser likely to pick Complexity Black, but you lose that, you fight for your LCS spot. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, nobody wants to even be in a position where they're having to fight for their LCS spot. No matter who you get to choose that you're fighting, you don't even want to have to fight that one.
Even if you have to fight me, and I'm horrible, you still wouldn't want to try, just in the case that I get lucky and crit every attack. Now, guys, we're going to sign off for myself, Kobe, Quickshot, Jat, St. Vicious, and the entire live broadcast crew. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here back tomorrow. Two-man stun, gigantic engagement, well intended, very, very low. Hexdrinker pops, but Link will almost pick up the kill. Yeah, the Q from Double It. Big burst, wow, Shifter one-shot. Big damage, has to flash, Dexter flash kicks, takes him out. Summoner heal comes out, the dodge, they get the inhibitor actually, Quas. Now she forced to defend against Cruiser, Cutie Pie gets away. Quas comes around the backside but teleports. Skara gets a lantern though. Kiwi Kid with the save. Boy leads the counterattack. 4 versus 4. Bunny forced to go to the red. Another javelin misses. Cop takes down PewDiePie. There comes the engage. I will dominate. Knocks back Crumbs, and here is the battle. Moon to the front line. 2-man solar